Hello friends, I am CS Jaspreet. Welcome back to my channel. ICSI has come up with the CSEET e-bulletin November 2020. I'll tell you it has some new additions or new information regarding two subjects, three subjects actually. It is about business communication. It is about economics and business environment. There are few topics like for business communication, it has e-correspondence topic. For economic and business environment, it is about fiscal deficit. And regarding the current affairs, it has the key announcements under Atmanirbhar Bharat 3.0. But here I'll be discussing just e-correspondence and fiscal deficit. For the key announcements of Atmanirbhar Bharat, there will be a separate video. Do give it a watch. Now the topic under business communication is e-correspondence. E-correspondence means that when one firm writes an email to another firm and the answers thereto to the mail is given them, the correspondence between the firms is formed. Like through emails, when two firms communicate with each other, that is called e-correspondence. It is generally an election correspondence or the email correspondence. The use of communication here is via electronic means. The information between the parties, the information is exchanged through email addresses only, and it is visible to both parties to give their correct address. It is visible to both the parties to show their correct address, and both of them will receive the information. So it's very simple that when two firms communicate through emails, that is called e-correspondence, and it's kind of new form of business communication. Moving forward to the merits of email, there are lots of merits starting with convenience and usage. It's very convenient to use as we work through laptops, PCs, so it's very convenient to mail somebody. It's faster approach, it reaches as fast as possible. Easy and simple language, you can write it in very easy, very simple language, make the other party understand what you actually want. Attachment of original message to keep record. The moment you send the messages, the original messages attached to it, and you can keep the records how many messages have been received or sent to such parties. Automated mails. The email has this process of having the merit of automated mails, which says that automated mails with email correspondence, it's possible with a certain set of messages. It's like if you're out for a vacation, you can set this message, set this automated mail, so it will be generated automatically, or you can call them autoresponders as well. Then insert images for greeting cards or newsletters. It has this provision of inserting messages if you want to wish somebody, or like we get newsletters from our institute through emails. Advertisement of products or services, it can be used in this way as well. Now, there are some points to be remembered in e-correspondence, starting with the first proper introduction. There should be proper introduction in the beginning to know you have to introduce yourself, and especially when the communication is made to a person or organization for the first time, they should know who is messaging them. Second, spell check. It's important to run a spell check for official correspondence. It's important. Please use the grammar and punctuations as correct as possible. Use of reply all features sparingly. If you're going to reply one person, don't use this reply all feature, otherwise your reply will go to everyone in your list. BCC for generic emails. Now in case you're sending to email to more than one person and they don't know each other, so use this BCC feature. BCC field should be used, that if you're sending more than one people and they don't know each other. Use of abbreviation. Don't use abbreviations because it is a kind of formal communication. The emails are used, so it doesn't look nice, and you should not use the abbreviations. Formatting of emails, usage of caps and bolds should be avoided. It looks like it's the sender is rude, so it shouldn't look rude. They should be properly formatted. Like no need to use fancy fonts or multiple font colors. It should be very like a formal communication, so you don't have to use such fancy things. Focus on tone. The way your email should sound, it should not sound over friendly also, because it's a business communication. It should not sound too abrupt also, so it should be very decent and very moral in its focus, in its tone. Sorry. Fix up forwards. So one should remember to clean up forwards before the sender in turn forward them to other people. So not only this make an email look cleaner, but it also ensures that other email addresses are not disclosed to the recipient. So you have to fix your forwards, restricting the number of attachments. Now, as many files can be attached, it is advised. So if you're attaching so many files, don't attach them one by one. Make it a zip folder and then attach them. So it'll be easy. Check the recipients of the email before sending the email. It's essential to ensure that you are sending it to the right person and not to the wrong person. Talking about the next topic in newsletter, which was fiscal deficit. This topic relates to the subject economic and business environment. What is a fiscal deficit? It's a difference between the total revenue and total expenditure of the government, and it is termed as fiscal deficit. In financial year 20, the fiscal deficit increased to 4.6% of GDP versus planned 3.5%. As I told you, the fiscal deficit is the difference between the total revenue and total expenditure of the government. So what should be the major measures to control the fiscal deficit? There should be the methods to reduce expenditure and to increase the revenue. How will you reduce the expenditure? By sale or by sale or closure of sick units. Sick units are the units that are just incurring losses and they are not recovering, and they are just leading to increase in expenditure on the government's part. So just sell them off or close them. Reduce the subsidies. The government grants help, the government grants subsidies, that should be reduced to reduce the expenditure. Reduce interest payments. Interest payments by government should be reduced. How to increase the revenue? Prevent evasion of taxes. What is the revenue of the government? It is the taxes which people are paying. So the government should try to prevent the evasion of taxes, so that the people, the citizen of India, should pay them taxes at their original earnings. Disinvestment should be there. That way you can earn the government can earn the revenue and strengthening the economic growth. So these are the methods to control the fiscal deficit, by reducing the expenditure and by increasing the revenue. Thank you so much for watching my video. Hope you found the video informative. These were the little topics that came through the newsletter 2020 for CSEET students.